Hello, this is William McKissock with Schoolie Mitchell, your expense reduction specialist. And as you know, Schoolie Mitchell, we're a franchise, and me personally, we love to promote other businesses, whether you're profit or non-profit, on social media for free to help give everybody a little boost. And today I have with me Daniel Ross, who's the Chief Growth Officer with the Flyfishing Collaborative. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hey, thanks for having me, William.
Thank you for coming on. So, we'll talk about the Fly Fishing Collaborative in a second. It's a non-profit, as I'd said at the top. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be the Chief Growth Officer with the Fly Fishing Collaborative. And then you can tell us a little bit more what it is.
I left America in 2008 and moved to Malaysia with a backpack to change the world. And I ended up in Malaysia for 3 years, started a social enterprise coffee business there to support refugees, and went to LA for a year and then moved to Thailand for another 4 years. And while in Thailand, I started an aquaponics project. And so aquaponics is growing vegetables with fish, and thought I would do that for the rest of my life. We had cleaner water projects, electricity projects, sustainability projects. And my mom got sick in 2014 unexpectedly from pancreatic cancer. So I came back to the States abruptly, and we entered the corporate world during that time, climbed to the top of the corporate ladder, was in SaaS, cybersecurity. I got to the top of the kind of the corporate ladder and was like, I think I'm on the wrong building. And so, yeah, so that's how I ended up with Fly Fishing Collaborative. I picked up a fly rod 2 years ago. I've been fishing my whole life, but never fly fished until 2 years ago, and became a donor of this organization that first trip that I went on. And so I just stayed connected to this organization. And about 6 months ago, one of the board members recruited me over and said, "Hey, I think we could use your skill sets over on the nonprofit side." And so we had a lot of conversations about compensation. And so anyway, I finally pulled the trigger, took a 40% pay cut, but I do some consulting on the side to offset my loss of
Yeah.
income. Yeah, that's kind of how I ended up over here.
Fantastic. I mean, you're an entrepreneur and you've traveled the world and you've done so much. That's absolutely amazing. So tell us the Fly Fishing Collaborative. What is it, and how does it help the environment, and how does it help people?
Yeah, so our founder 10 years ago wanted to do something to change the world, and he had a fly rod in his hand. So he said, "What do I have in my hand? I got a fly rod. What can I do with this tool that I have in my hand?" And a lot of organizations in the fly fishing community, obviously, and for good reasons, focus on conservation around clean water, which is very important, and we support a lot of those organizations and collaborate with those organizations. But the reality is, like, he went on a trip to Uganda with someone who had built an aquaponics project, and during that trip was like, "Hey, we should do another one of these projects." So we went back and mobilized the fly fishing community to build another one. And then here we are 10 years later, we've built 14 farms in 11 countries. And so we build aquaponics projects, which is growing vegetables with fish. And so you can get up to 10 times the yield. Our farms create revenue, they create jobs, they obviously create food. So the biggest risk for human trafficking victims is food insecurity. It's the number one driver globally of human trafficking. Because you got to think about it. If you couldn't feed your kids, I've got three daughters, I can't feed them, I'm not going to make really good decisions, right? And
Yeah.
so the idea is create sustainable solutions to poverty. And that's kind of how it all started. And then that's on the global side. And then nationally, we work with foster care kids and foster care parents. So 60 to 70% of human trafficking victims in the United States have been through the foster care system. So that's a
Wow.
staggering statistic. And so we do a lot of trauma-informed therapy camps. I'm about to go to Sandy, Oregon next few weeks to do a big 3-day trauma-informed therapy with a bunch of foster care kids. And then we host foster care parents on retreats to get away and just to have some R&R because they're in the thick
Mhm.
of it week in, week out. So we
Good.
serve the parents, we serve the kids. That's the national focus. And the global focus is around sustainability and addressing the food scarcity crisis.
So obviously, being a non-profit, you look for donations, and I saw on your website you can buy the apparel, the t-shirts, etc., and it all goes towards the good cause. And if you're watching this video, you can see Daniel's details underneath his portion of the video. There's a link to the website, his email address, etc., so you can reach out to Daniel directly. But tell us how people can contribute to this, both on a personal and financial basis.
Yeah, I would say we're changing our model right now. So we've been, a small nonprofit for 10 years. I say small, we've made a big impact. But we're changing the model a little bit where 100% of our donations soon, on the website, you'll be able to give directly to projects. We also have an innovation and R&D back in and a leadership and operations funding. So there's two kind of ways to get involved. So some people understand it takes operations and leadership to really build a successful organization, and it
Mhm.
takes innovation and R&D to take risk and to think about other ways we could address poverty. So that's on the back end, and then the front end is 100% of our donations publicly, probably at the end of the summer, early fall, we'll start going directly to projects. So that's like on the financial side. On the other side is like consider joining us for a vision trip. Come see one of our projects, go fishing with us in one of our unique locations. We've got some trips coming up to Belize soon. We're going to be hosting. I live in Florida. Our founder lives in Oregon, and I just got back from the Bighorn in Montana. We're hosting some trips in Cherokee, North Carolina, Western North Carolina. So just come on a trip. Fish well, do good is our motto. So come have an amazing fishing experience with us. Learn about the vision. See if you want to get involved. We're always happy to host people. And there's fly fishing everywhere around the world.
I love that. Was it fish well and do good?
Yeah, fish will do good. And then we're going to have a fly fishing film tour coming up this fall with Fly Fusion Magazine. They actually just picked up our motto for their trout tour. So Orvis just signed on as a sponsor of that. So if you're near an Orvis store, we're going to be showing that Fish Well Do Good, those films in 50 Orvis stores across the country, as well as 10 to 12 of our own showings across the country. So check out our website, sign up for our email updates, and you'll get that information as it comes out. So that's the idea is like, what do we have in our hand? We had fly rods and we can do good with it.
Fantastic. If you're watching this video, as Daniel says, go to the website, you can sign up. I think it's amazing, Daniel. You can go on these trips. So if you're into fishing, you want to do some good for yourself, environmentally and socially for the whole planet, get involved. And Daniel's details and the website is underneath his portion of the video. So Daniel, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, I always learn more about people's businesses and their projects, their profits, their non-profits when I do these video interviews. So anybody watching this is an absolute eye opener. I had no idea that the depth in what you actually get. I know we'd met for coffee, but I had no idea it actually goes this deep. This is just brilliant.
Yeah, and we're also looking for partners who understand revenue streams as we're trying to diversify beyond donations. So if anybody watching this has business expertise they'd like to bring to the table, that's why I said we're changing the model a little bit. And so we're looking
Mhm.
for earned income streams inside of the nonprofit so that we can
Mhm.
figure out ways to be sustainable, not
Yep.
just help communities be sustainable, but for ourselves to be sustainable. And I think the conversation we had was so beneficial about reducing cost, looking at your books, looking at all the things that you do. That was I mean, we're not probably at the level yet where it really benefits us, but hope to be one day.
Yeah.
And so, I just really appreciated our time and appreciated meeting you and the great work you do as well. So thanks for having me on.
No, thank you. Thanks so much for coming on the show because I love to do these and I can't do them if people don't come. So this helps me because we're promoting our brand while we're promoting your brand at the same time. Even though this is all about you, I want the people to contact Daniel and go to his website and get in touch and his portion of the video. Thank you, Daniel. This has been an absolute eye opener and what a wonderful, wonderful cause you're involved with. Congratulations to you and your team and look, I'm looking forward to seeing your continued success. So thank you very much for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, William. Appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.